Well, it is that time again, everybody. Hope you are doing well. My name is Bird Dog John, and I am back in action.
In those scenarios,
Yep.
it's good to neuralize the cameras. You guys know that best.
Very straightforward. Plug it in, go to the web UI, link the source, walk away. You know, like super simple. I keep looking over at the chat, and I keep seeing you are full of it. Tasty, spicy meat snacks. Covered in flavor. I mean, you can't go wrong. So what's going on? We've got a handful of folks here in the chat, and I really appreciate that. What's up, mate? Hey, Warren, how are you? Appreciate it. Hey, Robbie, how's it going, man? We were just talking about you. What's going on, Tom? Ahoy. How is it going? What's going on, Go Web? Good to see you again. Thanks for hanging out with us again today. Appreciate that. Feel like I'm in this video more than anyone but John. It's true, NetApp. You are, I'm going to cut this up and put this in the next intro. What's going on, everybody? Hopefully you are doing well. Welcome to a rainy Thursday here in Michigan, but we are back for your convenience slash enjoyment slash, I don't know, whatever else you want to add on there. Yeah, we're underway, so let's get going with the Bird Dog Show. I do have snacks on stream today, courtesy of Balu, and that guy is always finding stuff for me to try. So good stuff there. Pretty excited, and it'll be a fun hour or so. Ooh, and that reminds me. So I've been monkeying around. Let me know if you like this idea. I'm gonna for sure give you an hour, and I have a timer to show to make sure that I go for an hour, but also that I kind of keep it to close to an hour. But also then the timer will change after the hour is up, and we'll count up. So it'll tell us how long things have been going. Yeah, up until that time. So good stuff. And yeah, let me know if you like this idea or not. You may hate it, and that's totally fine. We're always about learning and evolving and whatever, but a little timer on the camera shots at least. We'll include this for a couple of shows and see how that goes. I may not do it. If I'm doing like training tutorials and stuff, then I may just mute that and, so we can chop them up and use them later as actual tutorials on YouTube. But for now, I mean, it's a live show, so you might as well see what's going on here. I don't like that it eliminates the zeros. That's weird, but it is what it is at this point. So, oh well. Anyways, 1 minute down. Here we go. I do have my coffee, so all is well in the world. Even if it's super rainy outside, which it is, I have my coffee, so we'll be okay. Everything will be all right. I should pull up the. I know we've got an outside camera, so we can show you guys. Like, we've got a camera pointed outside. It's not actually mounted outside. But I will pull up Studio Monitor, and I believe it is one of the 100s. Where are you? Here we go. Oh, can't be that one. Isn't that one? Is it Brayton? Nope. Is it this one? What is this one? HDMI. Nothing. We just had a camera on the road, so maybe. Nope, not Shadow. Bear with me, folks. Sorting this out. Not that one, not that one. Auburn Road. Ah, here it is. Found it. Fantastic. So let's make that full screen and jump over to the desktop. Oh, that's weird. I don't have that one available. All right, so here it is. We'll show you Auburn Road. As you can see, it's awfully rainy out there today, but the gas station is operational, and that's exciting. I think this is actually set to low bandwidth mode, so now that should be clearer in terms of the image. And if I'm not mistaken, yes, this is the camera that's sitting in my window in my office. So we can zoom in and check out. Oh, price of gas went up overnight, or this morning, I guess, because it was $3.19 this morning, and now it's $3.39. So up it goes, just in time for the weekend. But this is a P100, if you're curious. The P100 that we have just on the outside, just for testing purposes. We can just grab it and use it. but that's it's great. This is just down the road, just slightly, and you can see the zooming function. And there's a window between obviously the target and the camera, so there's a reflection that sometimes the zoom catches. I mean, that looks pretty good for a P100, given that it's the entry level PTZ camera that we've got. So, anyways, cool stuff. Yeah, you can see the window there, the light blinking. But, anyways, yeah, rainy day here in Michigan, and uh, it goes on. It goes on. Busy morning. Sounds like the guys in the tickets are busy. So we will check in on the desk a little later. Uh, Gary Onion says hi. Hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going on, NetHab? This conversation I think was happening before the show started. Ahoy, says Daniel. How's it going, man? We have 2 of those bird dog plays. Nice. I've got several here at the office as well. I'm actually using one right now for the confidence monitor, so that's always cool. Hey, what's going on, Brighton? How are you, man? Hopefully you're doing well. I think your weather is reaching down to St. Louis. Wowzers, really? Is it just a whole like storm front across the entire U.S. market? Actually, I'm going to close Studio Monitor because there's no need for us to have that open and pulling bandwidth for no reason. There's a Gabriel Iglesias joke about that. When the clock goes yellow, they start to get nervous, and when the clock goes red, whispers. What's going on, Angus? Good morning. Indeed, it is. And it's a rainy morning, but good all the same. Hey, when he told that at his stage show, we found out that his clock would eventually stop counting up. I doubt you'll have that problem. So, some people have asked in the past what I'm using. I'm using a free little app. It's a PC app, and it is called Snaz, SNAZ, or Z if you're Canadian. And it literally has a bunch of clock functions that output to a text file. And then you can bring that text file in as a layer inside vMix and move it around and show it wherever you want. So that's all I've done here is it's just reading a text file, and it keeps updating the text file every second, and that gets pulled into here. So super simple. That's what I use for the timer at the beginning of the show. We have a countdown to 11 o'clock to make sure that I start on time, because there was a time there before when I transitioned away from OBS. I was using Snaz, and then I transitioned and started doing Wirecast. Then I got into vMix, and it was I was getting really like behind. I was starting the show 5-10 minutes late. So this keeps me in check, and then I can set my watch and do a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, it's a good little added bonus, and everybody will hopefully benefit. You will at least have a full hour of whatever it is that this is. Hello from Norway. What's going on? I've got a Norwegian last name. How is it going? My great grandparents are Norwegian, or my great grandfather, at least on my dad's side, was Norwegian. We got you beat by about 30 cents. Up or down? It's hard to decide if you're happy about that or not. You're saving 30 cents on us? Because then I'm jealous. It was down. It was down to almost to like $2.99 for a little while. But whatever. Hello from Sweden. What's going on? Hopefully you're doing well. Thanks for checking in on Facebook. Appreciate that. Hi from Venezuela. Man, you guys are from all over the place today. This is amazing. Wow, what a great turnout. Thanks for everybody for checking in. I really appreciate that. Hey, it's Senseless. How's it going? Thanks for carving out some time from your busy schedule to be with us today, Senseless. vMix can do a timer all by itself, I think. Yeah, I like this because it's one place. I load one app, and it does all the things. So the countdown goes to 11 o'clock every day, and I've programmed it to when I open the app, it sets itself to the today's date and to 11 o'clock. So it's the same every day. Every time I log in to do this show, I open it up at about 10 o'clock, and it's all set to go. I just have to hit start, and then it starts showing the time on the initial screen, on the start screen. And then I have 2 other timers. One is chrono down, and that is what this one is. So it's counting down to 0, and then one is chrono up, and you can trigger chrono up by completing chrono down. So when it gets to 0, then it starts counting up from 0, or actually whatever you want it to count up from. So you can set it as is. So in our case, we'll let it do this thing today, but maybe on Tuesday, I will set it to count up from 1 hour, because then it'll show how long the show has actually been going. I kind of actually like that better. But anyways, I'm open to suggestions as to what you think would be convenient. I generate my clocks directly in vMix. It can include the leading 0, so it doesn't look awkward. Yeah, I think that that's possible here, but if I click on actually, I think that is possible. So that'd be great. I mean, oh yeah, remove time span zeros. So if I, oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's the other one. Yoink. And does it do it here? This one. So yeah. So now it will include the zeros. Okay, done. Because yeah, it looks weird, right? Like that doesn't make any sense. You would never write 50 like 50 dot dot 2 and mean 2 seconds. So it always needs to have the zeros. And then I know the chrono up will include all the zeros because it's an endless timer. So it's set for like going into hours and hours and hours. So that's cool. I like that. And the 0 shows now. Yeah, so that's good. Here, I want to just leave that. So we'll give that a go. That's a good catch. Good suggestion. Wait, there. It's not doing the zeros. Dang it. That's annoying. Okay, I might have to look at the vMix option. I know there's a time. Here's the thing. There's a couple of things in vMix, like the title generator, that I think needs updating. It looks weird. And it's kind of clunky to use. I feel like it could be simplified as like a button at the top that just says timers, and you click on it and it like gives you the options. But instead you got to like go in, and then there's these sub menus, and then there's a sub menu for where you want the data to pull out of the table, and then there's another sub menu for where you want to link the text file, and there's like it's just needs to be simplified a little bit. But whatever. Hello from Stockholm, Sweden. What is going on? Welcome back. You are here all the time. You're a regular now, I think. I think you qualify as a regular attendee. Yes, just add the source and choose title and in the GT timer tab. All right, I'm going to check that out. I appreciate this. See, I'm learning. The whole show is about learning. So we're here for each other. Yeah, we're cheaper by 30 cents. Lucky. Lucky duck. Hello from Portugal. Hello, how are you? Thank you for checking in. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell me who you are, but I appreciate you checking in all the same. You have all that clock function in vMix. Okay, so we have established that I'm not using the clock function in vMix, and apparently there is a clock function in vMix. So I will get on it and fix this apparently quite offensive, whatever it is that I've done. Code of Paint makes a big difference. Livestream Studio 6 can't do everything vMix can, but the UI in Studio is incredibly refined compared to vMix. Interesting. Seriously, your comment about a Code of Paint really really resonates, because this still looks like some of the first iterations of vMix I ever saw. It hasn't changed much, and I think maybe they do it as to not to rock the boat too much, but it definitely looks a little bit like the original, and I feel like it could be updated. But whatever, to each his own. It's not my company, it's theirs, so they can do whatever they want and make decisions as they see fit. vMix titles can be pretty awkward to set up. Yeah, I don't like the GT title thing. The generator is kind of weird. It doesn't seem intuitive. But howdy, what's going on, Kevin? Hey, John, there's a clock function. Hey, thanks. Thanks, I was unaware. Anyone else? Anyone else want to let me know? Huge turnout here today, guys. That's rare for us to have almost 20 people live on stream all at once. So everyone is in the support office. Everyone is functioning. Everyone's working. We have some people that are working remotely. I guess that's not true. I've got one guy that's sick. um, who would also be attending. But I think he's hopefully resting and recovering so he can come back. I already read that once. My bad. Oh wait, the UI can be refined, but live stream studio feels like everything is tucked away under layers of needless. Well, there is that where everything is so streamlined that it's like I got to click on a bajillion things just to get into the streamlined settings. That I understand. Sometimes you want things on the surface, and sometimes you want to have that feature tucked away. Here's the thing. Really, the truth is you got to get comfortable with whatever it is that you're using, and it's that mentality that a lot of like YouTubers talk about. Like, how do you get started? Really, you get started. The best equipment that you could possibly use today is the stuff you have, right? So if you want to produce something, you want to make something, don't keep thinking that your production will finally make it when you buy that thing. Start refining it as best you can with the equipment you have, and then thinking about the pieces you can add later, because it all that does is stop your creative process. And so if it's like, oh, I need one more camera, or I need one more audio input, or I need a different microphone, or I need, like, you got to work with the stuff that you have. And if you do, then move it along. And a lot of YouTubers, I have heard Marquez say it. I've heard Casey Neistat say it. I have heard Justine say it. I've heard a handful of very predominant YouTubers in the world say, "Don't wait until you have all the pieces. Start doing the thing now and producing stuff and growing an audience, and then worrying about all that little stuff." So, getting used to the thing you have is super important, and actually spending time in it. This is, I think, one of the detriments when it comes to all these new live streams that are happening in community groups, churches, schools, all that stuff. Is what they do is they have this new function that they need to fulfill, and they throw out a heartbeat and say, "Hey, who likes to push buttons?" Like, I've literally heard that announcement for technical recruiting. If you like to push buttons, come and hang out at the sound booth. And I seriously wanted to gouge my eyes out with a spoon, because that's like that's missing the point. Like, what you want are the people that will take ownership and creativity, and have creativity and a little bit of license with that, as to, here's how, we want you to come alongside us as a part of the vision of the plan, and really help us achieve these goals. This is what we want to do. This is where we want to go with it. And if you approach it that way, then then you're all kind of moving towards an end game. But if you just throw it out there, it's like, let's grab a bunch of volunteers so we don't have to overload any certain person. Well, the detriment there is nobody becomes an expert. Like, your team doesn't get to become experts at the things that you're using to achieve the goals. And so, church is a great example, because they're going to have pro presenter probably running in one, or like easy worship or whatever, and they're going to be capturing slides one way, that way, and then they're going to be running OBS, or they're going to be running vMix or TriCaster or Wirecast or Resi or something, and they're going to be running probably like a Blackmagic ATEM. You're going to be running a broad range of cameras, not just NDI, but probably baseband and probably SDI or whatever. And the people that are volunteering don't ever have time to really become experts in, here's how it works, here's what we expect it to look like, here's how you troubleshoot it. But you need to be comfortable in your own kind of skin. And so that's part of this, right? Like, me using vMix for 2 or 3 months now. Has it been 3 months? It was late last year, but me using vMix for quite a while. Now I'm getting used to where things are in the settings, and I'm getting kind of faster. I've been able to program stuff that's like X keys. I've got a Stream Deck, which does multiple things. But some of it interacts with vMix. So, we can fade the music from the start and end screens. We can start the playlist function on Stream Deck. I can also do that on the X keys. I've got all of these sound cues that we've been using. So when I want to play something, it's just a button that I press, and I've just labeled those so that I can just hit the button and use it. So it's good stuff, and you just got to get used to it. Really, you have to like use the thing and really invest in the thing, and stop looking at the grass is greener on the other side, and start really becoming an expert in what you have instead of what you don't have. So, anyways, all good, all good. You could also set up a timer by setting up Balu to walk into the room and shout the time every second. It's true. He'd probably do it if I asked him. I wonder if there's a clock function in vmix. It'd be really handy. That hit home. Yes. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of work, says Balu. Is this countdown meant to excite us about the show being over, or does something happen at 46 minutes? You will find out. No, what happens is a count up will begin, and we will then at least be aware of how long we've gone over. But I want to be sure that at least when people log in, like the deal is, I've noticed that there's like a drove of people that come in with 10 minutes left, and then I feel bad because I'm wrapping it up, and there's no indication that we're finishing up, and so this is kind of an idea as to like how much time is officially left, and then when there's a count up, it'll be like we're over, but we're still going. So I don't intend to necessarily have a hard stop after an hour, but there you go. That's the idea at least. Maybe John set up replay in vmix and it's starting in 45 minutes. There you go. I'll just loop this all day. It would be a 24-hour support stream, but not live. Do confetti cannons shoot off at 0? Do we all yell Happy New Year? Potentially. I'll let you do whatever you think is appropriate at that point, Brayden. I try and give you some license to like do your job the best way you can. So, paralysis by analysis. This is kind of a test, and I may just get rid of it since I'm being ribbed a little bit here. But we'll see. Or should I use all the kitchen appliances and blow a fuse on 0? That has happened, where we use the microwave and the coffee pot at the same time. Half the building goes up. And Balu seems to agree. The breaker's actually in here, so you'd have to come in and walk in front of the cameras to get to the breaker box. But I guess you could just blow a fuse. There's that. Is the studio behind the same fuse as the kitchen? It is. And it's not, look, I didn't design it or figure out the electrical until the studio was already pretty much done. So that is the deal, unfortunately. Uh-oh. What did you say? Nightbot killed you. Let's see here. Yeah. Such a moving message. Oh, you're welcome. I know. I'm here all day, folks. All day. Nightbot's not messing around. It's true. Not messing around. Actually, that's a holdover from the Twitch days, is what that thing is. Have you heard from anyone that uses the FreeD protocol in the P110 120? We're looking at using them in a virtual production stuff and hoping that the beta is going well. By the way, there's a typo on that page, unless the P100 also supports FreeD. So FreeD came with NDI 5. So yoink. Studio P100.local. Oh, come on now. One moment, please. Yoink. And boom. P100. Where are we at here? I don't know. I thought FreeD was inside NDI 5. I guess I haven't specifically looked. Yeah. So FreeD is here on the NDI 5 update for P100. So it is available as a P100 feature if you update to the latest and greatest. It looks like the second formatting is the clock that's missing the S. Yes, it is. And I don't, you know what? I might know where that is, where that formatting function is. Let me see here. If use custom formatting. Ish. Oh, that's very interesting. How would you do that? Ah, now I gotcha. Now I gotcha. Oh, wait. Oh, that's not right. Why is this formatting output format? So bizarre. Um, let me see here. Oh, here. Oh, I'm an idiot. There's actually a spot that just says use double digit. Let's give that a try. Let's see if that works on the in 30 seconds or in 20 seconds. We'll take a look. Doop doop doo. Oh, neat. I was worried that since it said P100 and P120, that there was a P110 and 120 page. Have you tried using the protocol for anything? Unfortunately, I have not. The time I saw it kind of shown off was at NAB. Oh, there you go. The zero's there. So, or right here, I guess, or right over here. The time. Oh, you can't see it. The time. There you go. Ah, dang it! I missed it. All right, wait another minute. You'll see it. It looks correct. So I only saw it demonstrated in an actual like Unreal Engine at NAB, and that was in April. And so I know it was working. I know the guys back then spent a lot of time tinkering around with the machine that they were using to get it to work. But I don't know if that was an us issue or if that was a them issue. But it's been since then that it's officially been released in the NDI 5 update. So I'm assuming that we've sorted that out. One would hope. But I don't know. Hey, what's going on, Nate? Yes, we're talking about free D or freed. What do you guys say? Freed or free D? I'm assuming free D, but there's the zero. Oh, look at that. That's glorious. Fixed. Now, one thing I don't like is I can't figure out how to put a drop shadow in vMix on this text. Doesn't appear that there is a way to format it to put a drop shadow or an outline on those numbers. So when they're sitting on my sleeve in this shot, see, they kind of get washed. And then when we go, actually, it's just this shot. They just kind of look, it's not contrasty enough for me. So I like this, obviously, because it's nice and clean and it's bird dog green and whatever. But I kind of need a drop shadow so that when it's on top of a different shot that's not black, you can clearly make out the limits of the letters and figures. Hey, can vMix do drop shadows? All you vMix fanboys out there? Since it can do timers, can it do drop shadows on text? I have a virtual set ready to test out. I need to get to it. That would be cool. Yes. I'd be all about seeing if you would test your virtual set and record it and send it to the support guys. We would love to have a look at that. That would be really cool. Will it ever be possible to use encoding and decoding on a bird dog quad and studio at the same time? Yes, I know, small. It would be so handy. So handy. Chip and so da da da. Um so you're talking about simultaneous encode decode, is that what you're talking about? That is the goal when it comes to using quad. That it won't come to the studio. So we did that one time with Studio in version firmware 3.0 long ago with NDI 3. And we found out that the studio didn't really have the horsepower capable enough to do simultaneous encode decode. So the first goal with quad is to get it to a place where we can stream all four nice and clean, no issues, any resolution that we put on the website, they're all good to go. And then I believe the second step is to try and get it to do encode and decode per channel, but it requires an astonishingly a high amount of data to do that, and so it's a bit of a challenge to put it lightly. And the engineering team, I know that is one of their hopes and dreams. It was on the original marketing for the product, so they're working towards it. But I don't have a day as to when that might be. We're using Axiometry paired with Unreal Engine, so I'm really excited to give it a whirl if we get buy-in. Yeah, that would be really cool. You need to get GT title that has the drop shadow or outline included by default. Link that to your data. Oh. That has a drop shadow or outline. So this numbering text is the bird dog. Um, that is the bird dog font. So curious. Nate says yes. Hit the gear icon on your title. Change title to GT text. Text middle center outline. Yes, you were talking about simultaneous encode. I'll get to that, Angus. Yes. Hey, I hope for the same thing on your core monitors. Encode the camera feed and decode the program feed to the screen at the same time. That I don't know. That sounds like um I don't know. I don't know if it will be an encoder decoder as well as a monitor, but you never know what the engineers have up their sleeves, to be honest with you. You really don't. You can change the font, VMix. Oh, well then. So I'm gonna go to my overlays because that's what I'm doing. I mean, I see the font option, but I see underline and I see strike through, and I don't see a drop shadow box, which would be that's where I thought it would be under the font creation. But you're saying use GT title that has the drop shadow or outline included. So I would need to open, add a title. Um, uh, sorry, I'll try it once I pull this up. I'll try and show you guys what I'm doing here. Let's go here. Let's go. Okay, down to VMix. Here we go. VMix, and then GT title designer. I'm assuming that's what it is. Let's go ahead and jump over. Okay, so here, this thing, this title graphics designer, I'm not impressed. I mean, I feel like it's quite clunky. I say that a lot about this, but I'm not. This is GT title designer, and it's okay, but it's kind of like, ooh, it's kind of. So let's see. Do I have any titles? Yeah. So time center. Okay. So let's open this. Open. Hopefully, I don't crash my system by trying to do this. Okay. So here is just a random countdown timer. This is the current time here in Michigan. So we need to change the font. So you would think that you would highlight this. Maybe it's over here in fill, stroke, bring forward, align, configure group layer. Let's give that a try. Bueller. Okay, maybe not. Oh, well, that's convenient. Okay, so here. Oh, this is to create a new one. So, no, stop. What is going on here? Okay, so can I create? Sorry, folks. This is kind of weird. Okay, so you're saying, what is that? You're saying format, styles, home. Is this what I don't strike through? Format text to all uppercase, toggle to the left. Okay, underline. So do I need to pick a font that already has a drop shadow, or is there an option to go into the text? Is there actually a text editor somewhere? Align dot. Yeah, no. Edit the fill. Look and see what you're telling me. You don't need to open GT Title Designer. You're making it way more complicated than it needs to be. That's what I like to hear, because I also agree that I feel like it's way too complicated. Okay, so I'm going to cancel this. And let's go into then. So you're saying like inside my overlays, I can do it? Ooh, what is this? Um, color correction, general information. Nope, not doing it there. this is a place where you can. So this is what I'm looking at. This is. Oh, whoops! I didn't. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. There's just the timer. Where are we here? Cameras, desktop. So this is what I'm looking at, and this is just reading that text file. And I want to change just the text, right? But in here, it's pretty basic in terms of what's being used, like what options we have, and you can change the font. But again, there's no like drop shadow spot, so maybe we have to like pick one that includes a drop shadow. Dude, you're all right. So I'm not even reading what you're writing, Angus. So bear with me. You're making this way more. Not overlays. Click on the gear icon. Change title XAML GT text. Okay. Boom. Click the gear icon. Yoink. Change. Let's see. Yep. Close that. He says that's not where you need to be. You can change the font and color there. You can't do this in there. Okay. I'm tracking with you so far. So I've clicked the gear and I'm looking at the settings now for this timer, the general settings, right? Or are you talking about a different gear icon somewhere else? I'm assuming you meant on the actual overlay or the source for this. I'm looking for. What am I looking for here? Oh, here, change. All right. Then you say GT title. The gear icon says yep, and then change button, top right corner of the window. Yep, got it. And text middle, center outline. So let's go to text. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Is there no way to just pick one? Can I hit browse? Ah, there we go. Um, center, text the middle, text text middle, center outline. That one I don't see. I see. Oh, you know what? GT text. I see you. I see you. Text middle, center, sharp shadow, shadow, outline. Interesting. Yo. All right. So it now it just says message. And there is. Let me go back here. I see what you're doing. Text center. Yoink. Ish. Okay, good. And now I'm going to title editor, data source. Data source. Okay. Getting. Is there a way to increase the font size without clicking a bajillion times? Right? Is that possible? Color wheel. I believe it is this one. Oh, guy, look at you. Let's see, what have I missed? Your icon, yay. Riveting content. Yeah, right? Don't you guys love this? Isn't this why you came here? This is what you came for, right? Me clicking a bajillion times. Yes, press the plus button or the A button. The plus button is not doing that. The A button also not doing that. We'll just slowly make it bigger. All right. So now the moment of truth. Oh, you guys have been watching this the whole time. So the moment of truth is when I switched the cameras to this guy. Is there actually an outline? It's hard to tell. Hang on. Hang on. Bear with me. And then where are we here? There we are. Okay. Yoink. See, here's the thing, right? Okay, let's talk about this whole process. You have to click the change button. Like, shouldn't there be like a formatting section? Is that just me? Am I crazy? I feel like I'm crazy for thinking that that's reasonable. All right. Oh boy. Well, there is a drop there. I can see it. There is a drop now on this. It's really obscure for you to see, unfortunately. How can I put my hand over it? I guess there. All right, so it is dropping to the right, ever so subtly, but at least it makes it kind of stands out from the background. So, oh, this is cool. John learns how to use vMix. Okay, so yeah, I guess I need to go back with my tail between my legs a little bit because there is actually a way to do this. Is there a way to edit this thing so that you can make the drop shadow more prominent? That I don't see. But on here, like if I bring you guys over to this screen, like this, so yeah, you can clearly see the drop shadow that's sitting here, right? This is the settings portion of this. But you can see that right drop shadow now that's been applied. So that's interesting. And we got there, for those of you who are keeping score, by clicking change and then going over to GT text and clicking on text middle center right shadow. And then that applied that template basically. And then I just went into here, overlays, and clicked on title editor and then did it here where you can add your data source and change your font size and all that good stuff. Okay, so now I've just got to do that with the rest of my stuff because so because in 18 minutes we're going to have a count up timer, but also the countdown for the actual show needs to also contain this. So this is how it was done. Boom. Say okay, hit apply. Unfortunately, it changes it to say message, which is not really what I want. So that, I wish it would just keep my formatting, but I understand that, can't have everything in life. So now we say title editor, and instead of message, we're going to click our data source. And here I've already created a couple of data sources. So this one's known as the show timer. We'll hit OK, and that has nothing on it right now. And then we want to pick our color, which I've been using this one. And then we want to probably run, well, I can force run it. I can change the time. So if we do this and I say, okay, instead I want to go to 1 and hit start, now I get text. And then I can watch it on my screen. And you know what? I think I know. It's like 350. Let's just go there. Boom. Whoa, that's oh well, that's just the wrong font. So yeah, it's counting now, and you guys can't see that. Okay, so pay attention, John. I'm doing way too many things all at once here. So okay, so 350 bold. We need to change our font. Where are we here? I can't see very well. Boom, boom. Hit OK. Okay, now the font is correct. And so now if I run the just briefly, if I run the background. All right, so the music's playing, but the countdown's underway. So that's good. And the formatting looks correct, and there's a drop shadow. Not that the drop shadow is really critical for that one because it's not a moving screen, but the next one is going to be required. And we'll find out if we do it right in 16 minutes. So let's just do the function. Yoink. And I probably won't be able to, well, I could get the size right, I guess. Yoink. Yoink. Okay, so now we've changed it to say message. So now we're going to say title editor. We're going to say data source. Remember this? Data source. This one is called count up. So over timer. Yoink. And then there's nothing there yet. And color, we're going to pick the right color. And we've got to change the font size to about 350. Let's go with that. I think it's 357 actually. And I'm going to set the font to be the same. Yoink, yoink, and yoink. Okay. So now we will find out if I did this correctly because it'll be a gamble. It doesn't say message anymore, so that's good. That's always good. All right. So Angus has been helping me out here. Special shout out to him for walking me through some of this stuff. Riveting content. You could definitely change. You could definitely change what you're sending us. The empty desktop is a tad bit boring. The other button, especially just sharing this window desktop. You guys were trying. You're waving at me. I just didn't see you. Hey, what's going on from Kenya? How are you? Welcome, welcome. Thanks for stopping in. Nut. Yes, it makes sense, but the outline and the shadow are built right into the title. GT titles can be super complex with multiple elements. You may not want to add these elements onto everything. In GT, yeah. Formatting is in the GT title designer. There you go. That's good to know. This is why we moved away from built-in title editors to web-based stuff. A lot more customization for what we do. What do you use, Daniel? I'd be interested to know. What sort of resources are you using? The outlines stand out a bit more than the drop shadows to my eye. Okay, good to know. Also try looking at the production clock as the timer for the full show. Hey, I'm glad to help out. Hey, whatever it is that we're doing over here. So look, check this out though. Like I love that because it does define it a fair bit. Maybe an outline would be a better approach, and maybe we'll change that up a little bit because just to see if it does make it look better. And I think now that I'm here, now that I've done all of that, it shouldn't reset everything. So I do that. Yep. So now it's a really thin outline. Eh? Like it's not super prominent. I'd like it to be a little thicker, but whatever. It is what it is. And yeah, that's nice. I like that. It's not as clean. I feel like it's not as clean as the other one. Let's compare and contrast. So here, I'll put my hand up so you can see the difference. So we're going to go GT text and then right shadow and then do this. See, that's a lot. The numbers are softer, at least on my screen. The numbers are softer. Let's keep playing with this idea for just a minute. And this is good stuff, Angus. Thanks for jumping in and helping out. If we say center shadow, okay, so that thins the line all the way around. It's still a nice soft, it's like a nice soft outline, but still. I use Photoshop and After Effects combined with GT Title Designer. It's a bit expensive, but I'm happy to show you examples of what we've made. Hey, that looks weird. Have you got a keyer on that input? titles have built-in alpha. I don't have a keyer actually. Now that you mention it. Okay, so what else is there here? Text in the middle, left glow. What is that? Text left shadow, left outline, right sharp. Oh, wait, what? Center outline? What the heck is that? Just looks like it's a little thicker outline at least. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Well, we'll figure it out. More on this soon. More on this soon. Okay, I'm gonna close that down and we're approaching the end of the first hour here, and I definitely need to run snacks on screen because snacks on scream because Balu brought a snack in, and we need to give it a try. So let's go ahead and run it.
John's just making up stuff to start drama.
Look, I don't know.
Look at him.
Wish me luck, folks. It's my first Vegemite experience.
Final, this is like cheese flavor or something. It doesn't really look too appetizing.
Good golly, this is something else, man.
Here's the thing about Pop Rocks, and I don't know if I'm the only one like this. Pop Rocks have always been a social experience for me.
I did not think that is what you were going to say. That's hilarious.
That is awful. Oh, gosh, that's so bad. Jeez. Holy smokes, man.
Yep, that's right. It's time once again, folks, for Strange Snacks on Stream, and brought to you this time, sponsored by Balu, who is a Twitch streamer, among many other things. And so if you haven't done so already, go over and follow his channel. He does various things at various times. And so a special shout out to him for bringing this along. And today we have Cinefuego Toast Crunch. I have no idea what I'm getting into. They did open the bag to have some out in the lobby before, but I have yet to open this or smell it. So take my word on it. Now, I just opened the bag. And, oh, God. And it's basically Red Hots. That's what it smells like. It smells like if you like Red Hot Mike and Ike's, that's what this smells like for sure. That's hilarious. So, yeah, let's give it a go while we still have 8.5 minutes left in the show, in the official show. We'll see if it hurts me. So it still has Cinnamon Toast Crunch is what it is. But emphasis on the crunch, but that's for sure. But it's like you're eating Red Hots at the same time. Yeah. Whoa. All right, this is strong, very strong hot cinnamon flavor. I would say comparable to Red Hots. Or Red Hots or hot tamales. That's what it is, right? Is that what they're called? Cinnamon Fuego Cinefuego Toast Crunch. Yeah, let's look up. Oh gosh. Let me just Google here real quick. They're hot tamales is what I'm thinking of. Made by the Mike and Ike company, and you can buy a giant bag of them for $37 for a 5-pounder. So if you really like cinnamon, there you go. Yes. You know, the sugar that's on the Cinnamon Toast Crunch is kind of like balancing it a bit, but I can slowly feel the burning cinnamon like going throughout my mouth. That is something else, man. Crazy. Whew. I don't know if I could sit down and have a snack. Now, for clarity, nowhere on here does it mention that you're supposed to use milk with this. You might, if you would prefer that, by all means. But I think this is supposed to be. It says serving size 1 cup, 4 servings total. But it is intended as a snack because it has a snack size included on the nutritional information and not a serving size with milk, like with 2%. I'm pretty sure they intend you just to eat it like out of the bag, like a bag of chips. But it's something else. I just enjoyed my own snacks on stream. Golden Island Korean barbecue snack bites. Very tasty. Is this something you ordered, or is this from a restaurant? What is this? Golden Island Korean barbecue snack bites. Golden Island Korean barbecue snack bites. Okay, so these are, looks like comes in a bag. Kind of like a beef jerky idea. This looks good. Whoa, one bag is $25? Are you like living it up over there? That is, that can't be right. So where else? Okay, we can buy it at Costco. 2-day delivery. Anybody got a price? Anybody got a price? I guess you maybe have to join Costco. What else? Amazon traditional Korean barbecue 12-pack for $30. That seems a little more reasonable. And then Walmart. Walmart carries them. So snack bites, $32 for a pound, 1 pound, 2 ounces. I mean, it sounds good. Golden Island. What's the Golden Island variation? This is I don't get this. This is a 14.5 ounce bag for $25. That can't be real. They can't seriously be selling these. Seller information. It's fulfilled by Walmart. Like, do they got to import them from Korea? Is that why it's so expensive? I don't get it. That seems a little high. Angus bought them from Costco. They're little tiny chunks of meat. Interesting. But it's an enormous bag. The Costco bag is a big bag of little 42-gram bags. Oh, interesting. Okay. All right, I'll keep my eyes out for them next time. See what I can find. Are you coming to NAB? I don't know. I haven't heard anything officially about NAB, so I'm not sure yet. We will let you know when we know, I guess. That's always a great show. It's always good to see folks. But it is very expensive to be there. So it's in Las Vegas after all, right? But I don't know. Haven't even talked to anybody about NAB yet, which I probably should, because if we're going to go, we're going to need to get our stuff together. So I just booked my trip to NAB. Nice. Yeah, it's pretty great. I went to NAB last year and had a great show and did some podcasting stuff actually with various people, which was great, a lot of fun. Did get sick at the end of it. I did catch COVID at the very end, and I had to stay in Vegas for 5 extra days. I've told that story many times on this show. Very bizarre experience. But I'm back and all good. So, hey, Warren, what's going on? Good evening over there in Australia. What's the countdown for? This is strictly a countdown to show that this is the first hour of the show that's going to be done, and then after 2.5 minutes, it'll do a count up to show how over I am. I always promise to do at least 1 hour. So I was thinking maybe this will help me and others know how long we've been online. So, hey, come and see us at ISE first. Yes, Phil is he's going to be over at ISE with some of the Bird Dog guys, I believe. And so if you're over in Europe, go and hang out with Phil, because he's a great guy to know, and he knows a whole lot of stuff. So if you have any dreams or hopes or plans in the future for installing cameras and into your space, he would be able to talk you through a lot of here's what's offered, here are your options, here are some things to consider. He's a great resource for that. So check out Phil over at ISE in Europe. Hey, good morning at this point. Yeah, seriously. What are you over? Are you in Victoria? Because it's 4 a.m., right? In Melbourne. So, oh, that's crazy. It's crazy, but it's not as crazy as the clocks go because when the daylight saving stuff kicks in, then it is like 2 in the morning at this point, and we're even further apart in terms of timing. But I finally got my first play, and I've been loving it. Just integrated with Acusis this week. Nice. That's cool. Phil is really excited today because he just had some pods land. Uh-oh. That's pretty cool. Those of you who don't know, we ran a 15-second commercial on pod when we started, and I'll do it again just so you understand what's going on here. It's the Bird Dog USB thingy. Thanks for the description, guys. So we have really been looking forward to having Pod show up because in a lot of integrated spaces, conference rooms, boardrooms, schools, hospitals, all that sort of stuff, they've been anticipating having Pod as a way to bring the system together. And so we've been waiting for quite a while to have that hit the floor, and I'm excited to hear that Phil has his hands on it. If anybody should have their hands on one, it should probably be Phil. So those pods do look handy. In Germany, we call thingies Nupsi. I'm butchering that, I'm sure, but okay, check this out. So the time is now, the formatting is all jacked up. I heard there's a timer function inside of vMix. Okay, this is just jacked up, though, because of the way I selected the data source. So if I manage that and I say this and I say settings, yoink, 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 chrono up, then we want to do this. Hey-oh. Oh, no. And then I just bumped it. Fantastic. All right, let's start that one again. So, okay, close, close, close. Oops. Can we open? If you by accident close SNAS, which I hate that it does that sometimes, start this one. But if you close it by accident, then it kills everything, and it doesn't ask, like, are you sure? Like, you have timers running. You shouldn't probably close this. I wish it did do a double check. Maybe it's in settings. Please confirm before exiting. Oh, my gosh. I say a thing, and then I find out they've already thought that through. So, all right. Problem solved, everybody. And Warren to the rescue. vMix does have a timer in GT timers. Yes, we've been saying that for like an hour. And people have been giving me a hard time because I use a third-party plugin for that. Is it Pod or Pod? POD capitalized, I believe. But then again, I think that video showed. I don't know. I'll have to consult marketing on that, I guess. Super looking forward to the pod landing with us at Holden in the UK. What's going on, Holden Tech Team? Is this Nick? Is that who this is? Well, you're doing well. Thanks for checking in. What a pleasure. Do we have official pricing on pods? Let's over to you, Phil. Hey, Bolly should get on that yelling every second. Yeah. If the SNAS app fails, then I always have Bolly to back me up. So vMix has a timer. Central Control has an awesome timer too. Oh, there you go. Website says pod. I checked, not pod. Okay, well then I don't know. Officially I don't know because I thought it was all capitalized, but maybe not. So there's that. There is that. Ooh, there's a soundbite I should get. And it's $199 MSRP. There you go. Done and done. little throwdown boxes. I'm a huge fan. This is going to sound hilarious, but I'm a huge fan of like simple devices that are, are just rock solid. Partially because I work support, and so the simpler the better in terms of not messing it up. But if when a product does like 7 or 8 or 10 things, it's hard to really like define what is this thing, like what does it really do. And I love it just when usually simple products are generally less expensive. And just me personally buying things, I like to buy a thing that does the thing really well. That's what I want. And so I love things like Play and Pod because they're really straightforward. Like they're really standard. There's very few things that can go wrong. Easier to troubleshoot, I think, than some of our more complicated converters that are encoders and decoders and tally lights and all this stuff is just, straight up. So I like Play and Pod because I think they're very simple and they serve a function that's relatively clear to the market, and I think people will benefit from that. So your thoughts are welcome on that matter. That's for sure. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to think through if there's anything. I have coffee. This episode not brought to you by Ember Mugs. Keep your coffee hot and your creamer curdled. This is also new. A new development for Bird Dog John is I am turning slowly into a black coffee drinker. It's weird. What is this? Ooh. So I'm turning slowly into a black coffee drinker. And today, Brayton was generous with his time and made coffee. And that was wonderful. So I rolled up and I drank the coffee I had brought. But then I grabbed this coffee before the show and didn't put any creamer in it because I don't know if we should be drinking the creamer in the fridge because it's several weeks old now. So I started drinking black coffee, and actually, maybe I'm losing my taste. Maybe the spicy Korean ramen has destroyed my taste buds that I don't care anymore, and I'm just drinking straight up black. I used to think it was so bitter you couldn't, it wasn't palatable, but something's changed, and now I don't mind. And I wouldn't do that with Folgers because I don't like Folgers at all, or like Maxwell House. That's not my brand. But this is Tim Hortons, and he made either Dunkin' or Caribou earlier this week, and that was really good. But yeah, I'm starting to do the black coffee thing, and that's less calories. So there's that. And this is a weird. I should put this over. Well, it's maybe I should put it in front. I'm trying to think about where to put this arm that's not like in the road. It's nice that it just kind of hangs off the side, but I have a computer screen right here, and there's a big bar right in front of right in my lines of sight. So, using Pod to feed content to Zoom looks like a great option for certain situations. Do they do audio as well as video? Does it do audio as well as video? That's great. I haven't actually ever gotten my hands on a pod, to be honest with you. So let's have a little look-see. See what we can come up with. So I will share this screen with you so that we can discover this together. Present, share screen, Chrome tab. All right, so here we go with the Bird Dog website. So NDI to USB webcam, that's what it does. Access any NDI video and convert it to a USB webcam. Connect to Zoom, Teams, Meet, and any conferencing software application that supports USB webcam input. 4 buttons, switch to source. Use the soft touch buttons, conveniently numbered 1 to 4. Switch between sources. Okay. PoE for the ultimate and elegant installations. Use with PoE switch to power pod without any need for any wall plugs. I'm assuming that this is under 15 watts, so it'll be just straight up PoE. The non-slip rubberized grip ring stops the pod from moving around, which is nice because first and second gens of like the Amazon Echo unit was kind of like a hard shell with a soft bottom on it, and it still moved around. It wasn't heavy enough to sit quietly, but this is what everybody's waiting for right here. Pod is API compatible, which means that you can send it commands to switch sources, and it will do all that. And that is super exciting, so that when you're integrating across Crestron, Extron, QSys, a bunch of stuff, it's going to have that API control, and that's really what people are looking for. Automatic source detection. Pod automatically scans your network for NDI sources, like all NDI devices. Pod comes in your choice of cream, bone, white, off-white, ivory, or beige. Not really. It just comes in white. Yeah, I was going to say that is a joke because they definitely don't come in all of those. Off-white and white. And no, it's all the exact same. Okay, so let's click on tech specs. Does this take me to tech specs? Let's see. Audio interface. USB-C to UAC. So I'm going to go with yes. You can take the NDI source and decode the audio out USB if that's what I'm seeing here. And let's just verify. Phil will probably be able to back me up on this at some point. Hey, I just had a Tim Hortons open around the corner for me. Yes, they're getting into Europe. I couldn't believe this when I heard this, and I thought, oh man, they're getting everywhere. So, yeah, Tim Hortons is definitely starting to go into Europe. Black coffee for the win. What's going on, Pandora? How are you? Hopefully you're doing well. I'm just passing through, so I got to sleep before the sun comes up. Well, have a happy Friday. Best of luck to you over there with that insane schedule that you have. And we will see you next time. Take care of yourselves, Warren. Yourselves. You and your other self. Okay, now do the DOP for USB webcam to NDI. Okay, now. We'll see. I'm kind of surprised that Pod has PoE, but Play doesn't. Well, that was a cost measure. A PoE module is actually a different price bracket when it comes to the type of chip that we use for the Play. And so we had decided, I was the one doing it. They had decided that most TVs have the USB port on the back of them. And so to lower the cost and to supply the 5 volts or whatever it is that's required, you could just use the USB thing on the back there, which really goes unused. The TV out in the lobby has 2, and I was like, geez, that seems excessive. But anyways, that's the idea. Phil says, yes, you can. There you go. So you could decode that NDI audio into UAC. So there's, or UCA, is that what I said? UAC. UAC, UVC, that's right. So UAC is the audio driver, and UVC is the video driver. So evidently you can. That's great. I have yet to play around with one. I don't have one here in the office yet. So Phil wins. He gets the trophy for getting the first pod that I know of. Or first multiple pods in the company. NDI tools will already share USB webcams as an NDI source. Yes, correct. However, I don't believe it's API enabled, and you would be surprised how many installers don't want to run a piece of free software on their computer. They want a piece of hardware on the desk. So that is something that we heard very loudly when we started doing some of this discovery portion of this product. And they were saying, yes, we see the NDI webcam tool, which is actually the tool that I'm using on this Mac to convert the vMix output to the vMix NDI output into this video that you're watching. But the market, when we were doing the discovery portion of this product development, said, yes, we see the app. We want a product. We want a thing we can touch and hold and send back for support and all that stuff, and not just a piece of software that can't be integrated via quite like the API. So I've got 3 of these. Fantastic. Let me know how that goes. It's a very tempting piece of kit. Indeed. Indeed. Yeah, but I would need a PC for that. NDI Tools doesn't run on Linux. Does it not? Do they not have a Linux version? I thought they did. I thought they had a yeah, maybe not. Maybe you're right. You're probably right. I'm thinking client's laptop though. You may not be able to install anything, and if they want good quality video, Pod may be the golden ticket. Angus, I like the way you think. Hey, John. Hey, Beep Chirp. Long time no see, bud. Crap, my audio isn't working. I had some PoE issues and questions and comments. I'll fix that audio, man. You can check me out at birddogjohn.tv, although you can't hear me saying this if your audio's not working. But welcome back. It's been a while. Hey, I was talking the other direction. Crappy webcam into the network. I see. I see what you mean. Why would you want to put a crappy webcam on your network? So I believe the concept is to grab NDI sources and turn it into a webcam. And that is what we're looking at here, right? NDI to USB webcam. That's what it does. I'm sending an inquiry to AV Shop right now to check on lead times. There you go. Sounds good. Yeah, someone abandoned the time slot for a bit, so other things took over the schedule. Are you blaming me for your absence? Come now. You know I'd be here most days. I abandoned it for 1 week to spend time with my family over Christmas holidays. If that's unacceptable, then your expectations may be a little too high for this show. So I could deploy my crappy webcam in different rooms for convenience and then convert it to NDI. I see what you mean. Yeah, that's not what the function is. The function is to have NDI sources on your network and to pull them down, married with audio. So in this instance, and then turn them into a webcam and be able to use them in all of those functions. No, before that, you abandoned it for some trade show. NAB is the only trade show I went to. That was in April. Is that what when you gave up? You're like nuts to this guy. He can't even run his show from the trade show floor. Wowzers. Inquiry sent. Nice. Well done. Good stuff, everybody. Love it. I kind of like this count up timer. Maybe it should just be a count up timer. Like just count up and then it can just go the whole time. I think that's what I'm going to do. Because there's no need to have a countdown. If it gets to an hour, then I know, right? It's potato. Who says potato? Seriously. No one I know of. Okay, so instead of that, how did I do that? So I'm using Companion and Stream Deck. And inside Stream Deck, I have a button that says, it's just a hotkey button is what it is. So, interesting. So I could just set up hotkeys inside of SNAS, right? Yeah. Start, yada, yada, yada. Here they are, hotkeys. Countdown, up, start, end. So like this. Boom. And then none. So save. Okay, cool. Cool. That's a community reference, by the way. So now when I hit go, it'll just start the time, the running clock as to how long the show has gone. Ooh, I like that. Is there a way to mute this input? Whoa, what is that? I clicked the button apparently. How can I mute this input? Display a larger preview of this input. Click the preview button to close it. I can pause it, but that didn't pause it. I can, if I hit close, does it deletes the input, right? How can I need to, okay, Angus, next question about vmix. I need to be able to then add this layer and take it away at will, and preferably by the touch of a button. Give me your thoughts. Okay, sorry folks, I'm neglecting beep chirp. Okay, so studio. Wow. You know this is end of life, right? You could also work together with Blackmagic and build a decklink card with SDI in and out and NDI in and out, so I don't need to run a patched FFmpeg or unstable NDI inputs. Interesting. I don't know if we would work with Blackmagic. I don't know. This guy, anything's possible, but I want to keep it a little realistic. I don't know if they would ever join forces with Blackmagic for that. Blackmagic does their own thing, and so does BirdDog for that matter. All right, I've got a studio that is outputting SDI to a Blackmagic Smart Video Duo. One of the panels is connected to my switcher, and the other to the studio. If I power the studio on first, it works. If I power the switcher on first, I need to physically disconnect the studio from the Smart View to get it to start up. Okay. This wasn't an issue when I had two studios outputting to the display on the Duo. It's ... odd. Yeah, Blackmagic did say long ago that they weren't interested in getting involved in NDI, which is a shame because they have the right devices to do it. But anyways, what was the first thing you said? You had a studio that's outputting SDI to a Blackmagic Smart Duo. One of the panels is connected to the switcher, and the other is the studio. So you've got a switcher. Are they both the same resolution? And the other thing is, like, I suspect EDID on this, or EDID, depending on who you are. Oh man. So I suspect that the Blackmagic is assuming a non-automatic EDID mode when it's running. And so the idea is that when the studio's on, it's outputting, 1080p 60 or 30 or whatever, then it sees that right away and grabs it. But I don't know if the BirdDog is broadcasting. Now you said you had two studios and it wasn't an issue back then, but it is now that you've swapped out for something else. I don't know if that's related or not, but it definitely sounds like the Blackmagic isn't able to change the expected resolution, and it may be because the unit isn't really broadcasting that. And so if it sees it at first, that's fine. But if it comes on afterwards, it's not able to figure out what it is. Hey, that's easy to do. Double click the title bar to shrink it. No, I don't want to shrink it. I want to disappear this timer. I want it to go away and come back at will. So that I can for example, if I want to do a tutorial, I don't want a timer on the tutorial. So I would turn that off and then turn it back on when the tutorial's done. That's an overlay, so bring it in and out. And Blackmagic won't touch NDI. Yeah. So overlay, bring it in and out. Whoa. How do I do that though? How do I bring it in and out? That is the question. Overlays. Oh, fascinating. Okay, so it actually isn't an overlay now that I've discovered the overlay settings. Or maybe numbers, full screen, picture in picture, effect, stingers. Yeah, okay. So that's interesting. All right, I'll monkey around with that because that's good to know. Yeah, that's good to know. Yes, they are the same resolution. It's a power issue, not a signal issue. The studio won't boot. Hang on. Did I read that wrong? If I power the studio on first, it works. If I power the switcher on first, I need to physically disconnect the studio. Oh, I see. Um, Interesting. What is it plugged in? Is this is PoE or what are you doing? Yeah, that's bizarre. Shouldn't be a power issue. That if something else is loaded, this one won't. Unless try if it's a managed switch, go in and change the PoE settings to legacy and see for the studio port. See if it's being underpowered after the switcher is turned on. Yeah, that's weird though. SmartView Duo is a 2-screen SDI monitor. I see. Oh, I know this product. Yeah. So, do you want it as a program overlay or a layer in a single input? I don't really care. I probably an overlay, a program overlay. That would be likely what I want. How to synchronize firmware updates to 10 bird dog plays all at the same time? Can't be done. That function doesn't exist yet. You have to do them individually on the web UI. We are working on something that will hopefully answer that question for you in the future, but it is currently unavailable and in the very early stages of development. So bear with us, but you will have to do 10 updates individually at this point. The studio device physically won't power up until I disconnect it. Yeah, it definitely sounds like something is going on with the power allotment out of the switch, as if as if the switch is underpowering it on boot, or that's hard to say. It shouldn't do that. Change the studio PoE port on the switch to legacy and see if that fixes it. I'd be very curious if it did, because if it does, that's how we fixed something with P4K. That's why I recommend it. Settings, shortcuts, add. Okay, hang on one second. I guess. Okay, back to riveting content with John as he customizes vMix. So go to settings, go to shortcut, go to add. I've been here many times. Shortcuts. Oh, good. Yeah, okay. Add. Then you want to click the button that you want to use. So function will either be on overlay on or off, or layer on and off, depending on which way you want to go. Okay, so it's got to be layer right now because I think that's what it is. So function, layer. Oh, toggle. Very cool. And then ooh. So countdown timer. What is it called? No, it's called tech middle shadow right. What's the value? Oh, there probably isn't the value, right? And edit. What button do I want to use for this? I want to use. I could use this one because I'm not using this other. So done. Say done. And what did I do? Okay, videos. So where are we here? I want to delete this other one that I had. Oh, it looks like it is deleted actually. Note, preview, start recording. Okay, so if I, oh, it still does that. Shoot. Do 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 do. There, this one. Right. Edit. Select category. Aqua. Yeah. This one. I want to delete that. Remove. And now, okay, so that is not, it's not a layer, I guess. So what was the other thing you said? Oh, you're talking here. I assume you want it to be layer as an input. The studio is powered by PoE. Plenty of power. As soon as I disconnect the SDI cable from the Duo, it boots. And then I can connect it and it works. I misspoke. It's not overlay. one of the things that I've always loved about the Bird Dog product line is the fact that it's PoE and it just works. Let's talk about the play. The PoE on that is, non-existent, right? So it is the one cable design, but uh, but in this instance, to save on cost, like the idea here was to make something as cheap as we possibly could, price wise, so that you could buy it in bulk, and do NDI for your signage and whatever. So that is why they made that decision to not do PoE on this, because that would be more expense. It would probably be a $200 product instead of 150. So that was the idea. And the fact that there's already available power on the back of all modern TVs is, it'd be redundant at that point. Now, if you like it or not, that's subjective, and you're welcome to have an opinion about that. But it's cheaper this way. And the idea was we want to make this as cheap as we can for the customer, so that they can buy these and throw them up all over campus or their building or whatever, and we're good to go. So value is which layer you want to toggle. Oh, I see. So if it's layer channel 5, set the value to 5. I'd set it as a local shortcut. All right, all good. Let's jump over there and do that. So close this. Layer on off. Value. It's weird that it doesn't give you assign as an input number. Assign shortcut to input number. Weird. What did you say? You said value is which layer you want to toggle. Okay, so it is on layer 3. Say okay. Nothing. So I'm clearly doing it wrong. We'll figure it out. Don't assign the shortcut to input number. Okay. Understood. This to me seems very confusing. Right? So don't assign shortcut to input number. Okay. Bueller. Nothing yet. All right. I will sort this out. I do understand the concept. But I will just need to monkey around with the settings, and this is not very exciting for everyone else that's watching this, so that I understand. But I will sort it through. Try and get that to function, because that would be great if I could. Is layer 3 toggle on off, start toggle on off layer for input at index. So this, yeah, it's layer 3 input, this specific input. Is that what it's called? I guess I should verify. Yes. That one. Why why would you select local shortcut this preset only? That's interesting. I'd set it as a local shortcut, he says. Okay, so hit OK here. See if let's see if that makes any difference. Maybe it's not. I'm pretty sure though it's running on layer 3, because that's where I put it yesterday. Do. Mm, mm, mm. Shortcut. Oh, output display, yada yada yada. Edit. Layer this layer on off. Layer 3. Title. Yeah, I've got this. I think I've got it set up as I should, but interesting. Yoink. Let's do this and verify that I guess I can look at my cameras because that's where it is, right? Do I have to be on this screen to do it? Here, settings, and then tally PTZ layers. Layer 3. That is the layer. Like if I uncheck it, it takes it away, right? That's the function I want. I want it to uncheck because then it goes away. Interesting. Very interesting. Cool. Well, the only show that happens on this thing, on this channel, in this computer, is this show. So if it's not supposed to be specific, I guess it doesn't matter which way or the other. But okay, so Beep Church says, yeah, but there's not. I now am having to buy PoE splitters to use, which is very annoying. Yes, that would be annoying. How old are those TVs? Are they brand new? Yeah, it's been a long time. Even this TV, which is a 23-inch Samsung TV monitor, has a USB port on it, and I think it was made in like 03. Like it's been around for a long time. So I know that they toyed around with the idea of a PoE. I don't know if they actually are ever gonna, if they would do it, but I know they toyed around with the idea of having PoE because, yeah, people had said, well, what about PoE? Like, what, is it gonna have that? And they were like, we're not too sure. Oh shoot. Let's go here. Overlay. On off. Data layer. Overlay. On. Okay. Well, I'm gonna sort that out. I'm not gonna think about that right now. I'll sort it out. It's all good. Don't assign the shortcut to an input number. Have you got my email address? Probably. I can double check. Because something that's specialized won't be used in every production. Global shortcuts should be general functions, not show specific. Layer on off will check and uncheck the layer. Okay, cool. So then I'm just doing something wrong because that's exactly what I want to do. Is layer on off. I mean, that is correct. If I change this to value 1, edit, hang on 1 second. Yoink, yoink, yoink. Okay, so I'll have to figure it out. I'm probably using vMix incorrectly. There's a good chance of that. So my 2013 55-inch TV doesn't put out enough power on their USB ports for the play. Oh my word. Layer on off, not overlay. Yes, that's what I was using, layer. But older TVs don't provide enough power. We have noticed that with my job where our TV stick boots into a low power mode and is really slow. Interesting. Well, there are those $15 PoE injectors. If you absolutely have to have it, but it's not very clean, right? Like I think that's the complaint is, well, or maybe they consider having a different model and they have the non-PoE version and a PoE version, and one is $200 and one is $150. I don't know. I don't know what their plan is, but yeah, I hear you. I hear that being a frustration because if the TV doesn't output enough power, then yeah, it's not going to be able to power the unit. But it seems to me that, yeah, it definitely should be able to do that. I don't know. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay, so let's see if back to shortcuts, back to layer on off. Set this layer 3. That input, I want that one to get toggled when I press the button. hit OK. And hit OK. And then when I hit the button, it doesn't do it. It doesn't error out. It just doesn't do it. I need a way to like just turn it out, you know. Man, that's really bizarre. It's bizarre that there's not an off button on the, you know, I have it listed as a source basically, which is probably maybe what I'm doing wrong. Add. Yeah. That's probably what I'm doing wrong. Add color bars. Oh, okay. I need to get back to the chat here, apparently. Yoink. Hello, what's the best USB thumb drive size to use with updating the keyboard, etc.? So we have found a brand that currently is consistent. It's hilarious because it's only like 256 megs. But the smaller the better, actually, in this case. So let me look at my let me look. I can find it because we order them all the time. Here they are. And it looks like this. The EBEMAS USB. So this is 256 mega, okay, not gig. And it's smaller than a gig. The smaller, the better. But the file size, the cameras need to be able to scan all of the bits on the USB stick. And so if you have an 8 gig or 16 gig, it's just too big. And the cameras can't do that in the time that's allotted for the boot up sequence. So the smaller, the better. And we have found these ones to be extremely consistent as of today. Doesn't mean that they'll never change their doesn't mean they'll ever change their media and that this is a hard and fast rule, but these are the ones that we have sent to customers. They come in packs of 5. And good thing too, because they're so small. But yeah, the 256 or the 128, those are fine to use for the USB, and we know those ones work. So there you go. If that's helpful at all. On the plus side, TV prices are so low that we can buy a brand new one every time for less than the rental costs of a local production company. It's true. It's very true. I just came back from a gig over the weekend in Florida, and they rented everything, and it was so bizarre that what they paid, but it was bizarre the stuff that they rented, because why would you rent TVs? Like, you would literally buy them for the same rental price and then keep them, right? Like, give them to people, or like give them away as prizes or something if you don't want to do that. But yeah, TV prices are coming down so fast, and you can get, especially for like confidence monitor stuff, and they're so stinking cheap. Thank you, Matt. You are 1,000 times welcome. You know, it wasn't worth $1 million, but 1,000, I'll give you 1,000. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate your question. That's what we're here for, folks. We're here to answer your questions. We're already an hour and 40 minutes into it here. This timer began after a 1 hour timer. So yeah, it's always great to talk to you guys. And the plan is to be back on Tuesday. So as long as I stay healthy, somehow I dodged all the sicknesses that came through my house. So 2.5 weeks ago, my wife got sick, and we were going out of town to do some singing on stage for like 1,000 people. It was like 700 or 800. And she got sick. Like, her voice got all scratchy and whatever. And we're like, oh no, like, this is not good. Then our kids had like the sniffles, and my daughter started coughing a little bit, and my sister flew up from Texas, and she took them, and she's like, I got it. Everything's good. And she's a mom. She knows what she's up to. So she like handled things, whatever. We got out the door, and then my 2 kids nosedived into, before that, my daughter, who's 8 or almost 9, she got strep last weekend, the weekend before last. And so she got really sick. And then somehow my 4-year-old didn't get it until after we left. And thankfully, because my wife wouldn't have gone on the trip if they had gotten sick prior to us leaving. And then we got back, and my sister went home, and then she got sick. And so what what is going on here, folks? Like, somehow I didn't get sick, at least yet. It's probably coming, but somehow I didn't get sick, which is astonishing. My daughter's still coughing a little bit, and my son is, well, my son is 4, so who knows? But yeah, bizarre that I didn't get sick. So it's all that coffee that I drink. Now I had other health issues happen to me several weeks ago, but that's not for this stream. Just say, keep drinking liquids. All right, folks. Well, it's almost 1:00, and so let's giddy up on to getting the rest of the day done and squared away. And sounds like there are conversations happening in the lobby, so I probably need to get out there and assist. But it has been a pleasure to be with you today, and looking forward to a nice weekend together, spending time with our families and such. Yeah, it'll be great, and I'm really looking forward to coming back on Tuesday and chatting with you some more. So, if you don't like putting in tickets, that's totally fine. That's what I'm here for. We got a couple times a week. We do a show and we answer questions, just like Matt's question here just a few minutes ago. Happy to do whatever we can to help you. One promise is I won't blow smoke in your face. If I don't know the answer, I'll say I don't know, and we'll try and find out together, or I'll contact one of my guys that might know in the sales field. So bring your questions here. Tuesday, Thursdays, 11 to 12. I love to do that, and 11 to 12 and beyond, right? So here we go. But if you have a question between then and now, feel free to hit up my team of agents at help@birddog.tv. And I got the best crew, and they work like crazy. We came back after MLK day here on Monday, so Monday we were closed, and we had an exceptional amount of tickets. We'll put it that way. So they got to work, and they got most of it taken care of. So it was unbelievable, and there's lots to do and lots to talk through and lots to help. But if you have a question, I promise my team will see it, and we'll try and get back to you as soon as we can. You know that you opened a ticket correctly because you'll get an auto response, and the help desk system will send you one back saying, hey, here's your ticket number. We got your message. Here are some additional resources, and we'll be in touch. That's basically what it says, and here are our office hours. If you haven't purchased a Bird Dog product, but you want to talk to somebody about Bird Dog and maybe your hopes and dreams for what you can achieve, maybe how Bird Dog can help you with that, please hit us up at hello@birddog.tv. We got a big sales team. These guys are the best in the industry, and because they sell the best line of cameras, hit them up. Ask them your questions, your pre-purchase questions. Make sure that you are clear about what you're going to need to do and how you're going to install it and how it will work instead of your idea of maybe how it might work. Ask these guys your questions. They're a great crew, and they definitely can assist. So lots of folks there. And those guys, so my support team is here in Michigan. We're all in one building. And so we work 9 to 5 generally, and a couple of the agents kind of cover a little bit of other time zones. But the sales guys are all over the world. And so if you ask a question, somebody might be in the desk. Somebody might be watching the ticket come in and might be able to help you right away, or at least get it to the appropriate agent in your zone. So there's that. You can also hit us up on Twitter for support at help_birddogtv. If you want to tweet at us, you got a question or whatever, we get those as tickets in the desk, and we can respond to you directly or send you a DM with a longer article or link to a video or something like that. So those are all great resources. Of course, be sure that you subscribe to birddogjohn.tv. That's where everything support happens right here on this channel. And that channel has been growing. Like before the end of the year, we were under 150, and now we're like 160 or something like that. So thanks to anybody who's subscribed. Actually, I'll jump over there and find out, because it would be great to see what that number is. 163. So higher than I thought. And that's fantastic. I was hoping to see a few more on there, and that is the truth. So birddogjohn.tv, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to me there. Everything that I do via support gets posted there. So come and hang out. Facebook user says, help is quick and up to date. Thanks. You are very welcome. You're very, very welcome. Let's see if I can find you so I can thank you by name. Core? Anyways, you're very welcome. Thank you for saying something. And hey, if you ever want to like make our day, just send the help desk a compliment or thank them at the end of a ticket. Seriously, you have no idea how rare that is. And so, if you're a good-hearted person and you feel like you want to be kind to the bird dog agents, send them a kind word and thank them for their work, because they do work hard and they try and make sure that everybody gets paid attention to and that we get responses back. Some people think that we're just kind of like robotic, but we really aren't. And we talk with each other about tickets that come in, and we try and formulate relevant information. If you send us like broad questions, we're going to send you broad answers. If you send us specific stuff, that will help a lot. Give us a little bit more detail. Try not to write a novel, but give us some detail. Maybe take a quick little video as to what's happening, like a screen capture or something. Send that along. We can watch that and try and diagnose things for you. But good detail is helpful. Videos, pictures, that's all great stuff. And yeah, we can definitely try and square you away. So, and if you hate submitting tickets, look, you got twice a week. You got a support show here, right at birddogjohn.tv, twice a week, 11 to 12, Tuesday, Thursdays, and we're happy to jump in and chat with you about what's going on. Okay, folks. Well, the time has elapsed, and I hope that you have found our conversation somewhat helpful. Maybe at least you've enjoyed the banter and the back and forth. But yeah, we're really, really looking forward to the next for the new year and for all the stuff that's going to happen at Bird Dog. Definitely come alongside us and enjoy the journey with us. But as always, take care of yourselves out there. It's crazy if you're here in Michigan. I don't think anybody is, but if you're here in Michigan, it's pouring rain. So get inside or get an umbrella. But take care of yourselves. Look after yourself. And, of course, look after each other, because there's not a lot of that going on in this world. So until next time, we'll see you soon. And have a great upcoming weekend. Bye, guys.